Hey folks, it's Bishopheals from the ECF forums and host of Vape TV. How you guys doing today, baby? I'm here today because, people have been sending me mails and messages regarding, Bish, how can you calibrate this Esterigon to hit even harder? Well, you know what? I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you how to clean it. Yes, I'm going to show you how to clean it. Now, Emio did show one way of cleaning it using white gasoline, which is totally okay. It works. But what I use is a sonic cleaner. Okay, and when I put it in the sonic cleaner, then after the fact, after I dry it up, polish it up, I calibrate it. Yes, and it hits even harder. So I'm actually going to show you what I'm actually going to do here. So what I have here is the Esterigon. This is an 18650 mode. I'm putting in the Orb 25s. Forget about it. Putting that puppy in. Now this needs to be clean, but I just wanted to show you the before. Okay, and then the after. Okay, so screw this on. Now I'm going to put it on my checker. Okay, and I'm going to be putting on, which is almost 0.4 ohms, but 0.39. Okay, this is the dripper. Okay, the penny dripper. Forget about it. So first things first, let's check out the readout. We're at 422. Okay, it's a fully charged battery. Okay, now I'm going to mount it right on. Okay, and as you can see again, 4.22. Now I'm going to turn on the atomizer. Okay, there is a switch so I can turn on my atomizer. Now we're going to see it on the load. Alright, so let's get the best 5. So we got 338. That was 1. We got 352. Woofa. Okay, then we got 347, and let's give it one more. 340. Let me add some juice because it's gonna get dry. We don't want nothing burnt, right? Forget about it. So we got 331, 341. So it's like an average, okay? So let's 330 again, 333, 342. All right, you know what? Let's leave it. I'm gonna leave it at 342. Okay. So I'm gonna take it out. So that was at. I'm just averaging it out. Let's just leave it at 342. Okay. So I'm gonna take the battery out. And we're going to take this apart, okay? So let's do that right now. Forget about it. Okay, so here's the switch compartment. But this is the tube compartment, which we're going to be using. I like to use these rubber cleaning gloves so I can remove the actual cap. Now, it's always recommended that this thing is completely tight and the O-ring is not exposed when you're tightening it onto the tube. Alright, that will actually give you more volts on your load. But here's the tube. Alright, we're going to be dipping this in the sonic cleaner real soon. Also, what we're going to be doing is we're going to need a flat screwdriver so we can actually lift up the plastic dowel ring. Okay, okay. So once this is lifted, okay, there it is. That's the first part. Now the next one is the actual O-ring. So I like to use is a very small micro flat screwdriver, and what I actually do is I just put it up against the actual wall, okay, and bring it down until I actually have the actual O-ring. It's hard to see from my angle because I'm trying to show it on the camera. So only thing what I'm actually doing, okay, see that? See, that's all what it is. Just lifting it like that, putting your thumb around it, and boom, it's released. Okay, now once that's done, you can unfasten the locking ring. Okay, and there it is. And I don't know if you can tell, but there's a little bit of grime and a little bit of dirt there. Okay, So same thing in here. See if you can, let me see if I can focus that a little better. See that? Right there. It's a little bit of dirt. Okay. So we're going to be cleaning all of this. See the dirt? Okay. So all this is going to get cleaned in the Sonic cleaner. Oh yeah. Forget about it. So this is the bottom cap portion. Now the O-rings, they don't need to be in the Sonic cleaner, so you put that on the side. Okay, so we're going to put that on the side for now. But these parts can actually go, and you can also remove this O-ring. Okay. See that with my 2 fingers, I can actually easily pull it out just like that. Okay, and there's the O-ring. Okay, so we're going to put that on the side. Okay, because the reason why I do that is because when you put this in a Sonic cleaner with the O-ring, sometimes the O-ring expands and it can actually spoil, and it's just it just creates more problems. Then you would have to start replacing O-rings. Okay, so next thing we're going to be doing is the air control. So what we're going to do is we're just going to turn it clockwise, and it'll come out gently just like that. See that? Now these already have 2 O-rings. This you can actually hand wash it with hot water. That's all what I would recommend. It doesn't have to go into the Sonic cleaner. So I'm going to put that next to my O-rings right here. Okay. Now this, as you can see, look at the 510. See that? It is filthy. Yes, totally filthy. Let me see if I can focus that for you. See that? It's dirty, very dirty. Okay, and then over here, pretty much the same thing. It's also dirty. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, first things first, I like to use my rubber gloves. Makes it so much easier to remove these compartments. I just do one quick twist and voila. See? Now this all needs to be tightened down. Okay. Now here's the other compartment. Here's the plastic. This does not need to be into the Sonic cleaner. But just give it a tap and voila, it comes out. Put that on the side with the O-ring. Okay. And this is what it looks. Okay. This, however, doesn't look too bad, but it's going to get cleaned anyway. Now we have the button and we have this compartment, which is quite easily what we're going to do is we're going to push it out. That's right. We're going to be pushing it out. Okay. We're going to stick this in. And we're going to push it in, and this will be automatically coming out. So this is what we're going to do. See that? Comes out. Okay. So give it a little bit more. Okay. And right now you can try to pull it out with your fingers. Gently side to side motion. Okay. Gently side to side motion. And voila, comes out. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to unfasten these O-rings. Put that on the side. Okay, the other O-ring, same thing. So what we're going to do with this O-ring is we're going to squeeze it together, like so. It lifts. When it lifts, that's all. Just push it back very gently. Okay. Now, these 2 compartments, you need to unfasten it, okay? You got a pair of pliers. You may be able to do it by hand. If you're able to do it by hand, which in this case is kind of hard to do, I like to clamp it around the torque, and then I'm holding right here. So when I'm holding it, there we go. Now, you want this to be very, very tight. The tighter, the better. But there's dirt, as you can see. There's a little bit of dirt all around, so it needs to be cleaned. So there is a spring in here, which does not need to be in the Sonic cleaner. Okay, so we're going to remove this spring. Put it on the side of the O-rings. Okay, it doesn't matter. As far as spring size, it's the same size. And as if you look inside, see that? A little bit of dirt, grime, okay? Needs to be cleaned. This is the cap, which also needs to be cleaned. There we go. You see some dirt needs to be cleaned. So we're going to put that here, what needs to be cleaned together, okay? And this right here had a plastic compartment, a small one, which doesn't need to be cleaned. We'll put that on the side. And then what we're left here is the actual button, okay? And a quick way of doing it is take a pair of pliers, okay? And what you do is you push it down. So if you can see it, all what I'm doing is just pushing it down. So when I do that, see, there goes the button. But let me hold the button because I don't want it to fly out. So this is what I like doing. See? It just comes right out. And there's the spring. And this whole thing can actually go into the sonic cleaner. See that? There's a little dirt. Put that here. Spring will remove. Does not need to be in the sonic cleaner. This, however, you want to do something. You want to make sure that the brass tip is pretty snugged and tight, which it wasn't, onto the button. There we go. So I just give it a snug, leave it there, and this whole compartment, the way it is, even with this little O-ring, it's not much of an issue. I'm going to put in the sonic cleaner the way it is. Now, this is the next and last final part that we need to deassemble. So to disassemble it, I'm actually going to be pushing down with a flat screwdriver. And same thing as before, this will automatically start coming out. See that? It's already starting to come out. There we go. So here's the little plastic compartment down the side. And as you can see here, here's some juice. Look at that. Dirty. Okay? All that needs to be cleaned out. Okay? So we put that here. Now, the O-rings, the same thing. We need to remove them. Same thing as from the torque side. So let me take the pair of pliers. Before I showed you removing the O-rings first, this one I'm leaving the O-rings on to twist. Okay, see, I was able to twist that. And here's that O-ring. I'm going to put it here. And I'm going to squeeze the two end points for the O-ring. There we go. So here's the other O-ring. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to unfasten this pin so we can remove the spring. There's the spring. We'll put it over here with the O-rings. And look at the inside compartment. See? It's a little dirty. Okay, oxidated. And same thing with this. These two things need to be also cleaned. Okay, so for your information, this stuff right here, including the tube, there's your Esterigon. That needs to be sonic cleaned out. This stuff right here does not need to go to the sonic cleaner. Okay? Does not need. Okay? So with that, let me get the sonic cleaner and we're going to get started. Oofa! So here's my sonic cleaner. Okay? This is the Kindle. Okay? It's a digital ultrasonic cleaner and it's also a heater. Okay? And my previous sonic cleaner that I used wasn't a heater. This one I love because it gives you the option to heat the water. If you heat the water, it's going to obviously wash a whole lot better. Now, the capacity of this, what I like to fill it, is about 1 inch right above. But before I fill the inch, this is the solution that I actually use. Alright, this Turbosonic concentration solution. Now, what you got to do is you got to shake it first. After it's shaken, okay, you just want to dump 2.5 caps full. That's it, just 2.5 caps. So that's exactly what we're going to do here. And this is before the water. So that's 1, 2, and I'm going to put a little bit, there we go, that's 2.5, okay, of this solution. Now, as far as home remedy solutions, I'm not recommending any of that because I don't want to be responsible if you bleed out the metals using too much vinegar versus baking powder, soda, stuff like that. This solution is top of the line. It's notched. It will work. I'm not saying that the home solution is not going to work, but this I do trust. I got it from Amazon. This is hot water from tap. Purely tap hot water. Okay? Now that's one. Now as you can see the level, where the level is, that's not about 1 inch. I need it to be a little bit more. I do not fill this all the way because I'm going to give you a secret. Because the frequency of your sonic cleaner, there's no way of increasing the strength. Okay? It's always going to be the same strength. So if you minimize the water, then it's going to be more powerful of cleaning. Yes, it does. So what I like to do is just do about 1 inch. So I'm going to fill up this cup one more time and be right back. Alright, so dump in some more water, and actually that's about a little bit more. Yep, that's good. Alright, so you don't need the rest of this water. Alright, so this is what we're going to do. First things first. Let me tilt it down. You see where it says set and count? So that is to turn it on, which we don't want to do. We want to increase this to 480. That's 480 seconds. There we go. This is the heater, which we'll be using. Now, the hot water from tap is a certain temperature. It actually overexceeds the heating temperature as far as what the sonic cleaner offers. But I like to leave it on just to keep it warm. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, before we hit the on to set this, we're going to start dumping it in. Here's the tube, okay, from the Esterigon. Here's the other part, okay. Dump it in. We're going to dump in all the parts. Dump in all the parts, okay, with the exception of the O-rings, the springs. Here's the button. O-rings on the side, right over here, as you can actually see. I have it all right here. Okay, the springs, O-rings, plastic caps, that's it. So here's my Esterigon. Okay, so now, just to show you, I'm going to power it on. Let me just make sure I'm hitting, no, there's 480, now I'm going to power it on. There we go. You see the vibrations in the water? You see that? And how it moves the metals? So I like to move, keep it a little separated. There we go. See that? Dancing like the conga line. I like to keep the cylinders not on a flat surface, but on a round surface. Same thing with this one, but this one seems to jump around a lot. There we go. So that it can pass through. Okay? That's all what I'm trying to do. That one I can't, the water's a little too hot right now, but that's it. As you can see, it's doing its thing. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover it up. Like so. Okay? And let that go. So as you can see, the timer, 427, 426. So when this is done, we'll be right back and we'll take a look. Okay? Okay guys, so we're approaching almost the end. It's already 4 seconds, 3 seconds. It's almost done. Bingo, it's done. So when it gets to 000, that's it. Timer has been completed. See that? So I'm going to just unplug the power in the back. Okay? Remove the lid. Ooh. No, I wish I could say it's great soup, but this is the finest GG soup you could actually get your hands on right now. Oofa, forget about it, you know what I'm saying? But actually, no, you actually can see all the dirt and the grime all around. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove it from here. This is like hot, hot, hot tamales right now. Hot, 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 hot. So let me just cross it over. This is how I actually remove it because I don't want to scratch my parts. So I kind of just layer them like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash this out in hot water. See how I'm doing it? Okay. So I'm going to clean this out in hot water. So I'll be right back. Let me get the rest of these out. I'm going to wash this out in hot water, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, so we're back, and here are all the pieces. Now these already been hot water washed down, so any residue of the soap has been removed. Right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be drying up the tubes. And make sure there's nothing, as you can see. Look at that. Look how clean this looks. And it's already dry on the inside. It's beautiful. Even on the threads. Let me see if I can focus that. Because it's just gorgeous the way this looks right now. Look at that. Not one thing of dirt. Nothing. Totally spotless. Same thing on this end. Look at that. Nice, huh? Forget about it. So that's one. Let's do the one with the button housing. Wow. Take a look at that. See that? Let's see if I can focus that a little better for you. Totally, look at those threads, how clean they are. Even here. See that? Very, very clean. Remember the bottom of the switch? Well, it's wet, but let me just pass. Let me just dry it up a bit. And that's the first assembly we're going to do. We're going to be working with the bottom cap first. Make sure there's no more water. There we go. And as you can see, look at these threads. Beautiful, huh? No dirt, no grime, nothing. Everything cleaned. So this used an O-ring. So we're going to put the O-ring in now. See how simple that was? Okay. Now, this is the bottom cap as well. Now, this video was intended to help you increase the load drop as well as cleaning your Esterigon. Now, you can polish and wax this, which I would gladly show that in a separate video. I just want to keep this video cleaning it using the sonic cleaner and what solution I actually used. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is screw in the actual locking mechanism of the bottom cap. Okay, and then right now I have to put in the O-ring, which is this small little O-ring right here. Okay, and what I'm trying to do is not to put any fingerprints on this knob right there. I try to keep it clean because that's where the negative connection goes on the battery. So all what I'm doing is, you see that? See that? Look how simple that was. O-rings installed. Okay. Now you can put in the cap, this cap, and when you put this in and you pressure it down, you want to make sure it's flush. it's completely flushed. See what I'm doing? I'm just turning it around. I'm pressing it in. And that's it. Now, just to check the locking mechanism. See that? It works. Okay, so now this is done. You know what you're going to do next? You're going to firstly fasten it onto your device. Now remember, there are 2 threads. Okay, see that on the top? I don't know if you can see it really good on the cam, but there's one which is a little bit longer. And that's the one that you want to use for this. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be using right now. So we want to make sure that this thing is fastened tight. Okay, once it gets to a snug position like this, you see it actually still shows the O-ring. That's okay. You take cleaning rubber gloves and you tighten. See? No more O-ring. Okay? Then you want to make sure that this part, the locking, see that? I can still put it in lock mode. Because if it gets stuck like this, then you would have to use this again just to loosen this part. But as long as this part is loose, you're good, because then you can lock the mod. Okay? It's just this inner portion right here has to be completely closed. And then what's going to happen is you're not going to be able to open it up with your hands because you need a grip. But that's okay, because you'll be inserting the battery through here. Okay? Through here. Yes, get used to it. Through here. Forget about it. Alright, that said, now we're moving on to the switch component. Look at that. We're almost done. We're almost done, guys. Forget about it. Alright, so on the switch component, what we're going to be doing is let's put in the button. Yeah, let's put in the button. Now, let's take a look at this button. Look at that brass. Look how shiny that looks. Oofa. That looks like a piece of jewelry right there. Look at that. Looks like gold right now. Oofa. That thing is beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to apply just a little bit of this just to make sure it's dry, and it is. Add the spring. Okay. Here's my spring. Okay. So I'm going to put in my spring. And same rule applies. I do not want to touch this tip with my fingers. I really don't. Okay? Then I'm going to put it in here. Okay? And the way I'm going to put it in is quite simply put. I'm going to be pushing it in gently and turning it clockwise. So I'm going to press it down. As I'm pressing it down, I'm going to be turning it clockwise. Okay? So, just like that. Look at that. Boom. Done. See that? It's in. It's inside. Okay? It's already in. Now, that part is done. Next part. Okay? What we're going to have to do here. Let's work on the 510 connection, shall we? Okay, so here's one of the other parts. Look at it. It looks like gold. They look like gold. Can you actually see that? They look like gold. Look at that. This is brass. This is what happens when you put in a sonic cleaner, folks. You remove all that oxidation, and woofa, the connectivity, I tell you. Forget about it. Alrighty, so the one that connects directly to the battery. Okie dokie. Yes, kimosabi. So what we're going to do is this. This is the part that goes directly towards the battery end, but we need to dry out the inside. See that? It's a little bit of water. So I like to put a little bit of paper towel in there. There we go. So it has a little bit. So it's important you dry out these components, or you can use like a hair blower. That would, and I kind of like blow into it, and that would get the water out. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the O-rings. These uses 2 O-rings. So as you can see, it's very easy to apply. Next one, same thing. Okay, see that? O-rings have been applied. Now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to need spring. One of these bad boys. I'm going to put it in. Okay. Now this is the side of what gets connected directly to the battery. Yes, yes, yes. So now what we're going to do is take this part. Well, first make sure there's no water in there. Okay, no water in there now. Alrighty. Now I'm going to put this right onto the spring, like this, okay? And then any of these two clamps is the same size, so you just gently put it on right over it. And as you put it on, now what you do is now you're going to have to start screwing this in. That's all. Screw it in. Like so, okay? So when you hand screw it in, what I like to do is, once it gets that I'm going to thread my fingers, I stop, take a pair of pliers, and I want to wrap around this torque. Not that, this, the torque. So this is like, see that? So it's around the torque. I give it just a very little bit of a snug. There we go. And that's it. We're done. Okay, and that's it. Okay. Now with this, being that I put my fingerprint on top there, I just rub it a little. Okay. Would be the actual switch of the 510. So we're going to be drying this out. Apply the O-rings. And we're almost done. There we go. O-ring running wild. There we go. Okie dokie. Now we apply the spring. Apply the head. And then the clamp. So it can't go no more. Then I take the pair of pliers, and it's just a little snug around the torque. That's it. Okay. Then what I do is I take the plastic, okay, put it right over the 510. See that? Then I take this, okay, because that's where this goes. There we go. So when you have it right on, what you do is you start pressing down on it evenly on both sides. Okay? So it looks like that. Okay? Now what you do is take your air control ring, make sure that the slit is on with this slit of the air control. Okay, there's the top one. Okay, what I like to do is use this. Now you can use Never Dull also a little bit. Now we're actually back to this. Now this goes here. Okay, like so. And then this is the plastic part, which goes in here. There we go. There's the plastic. And then you stick this beauty right inside, like so. And very evenly, you just press down. Just like that. Okay. Now, you take your battery. Now I'm using Orbtronics 2500 because, you know, this was like at 0.4 ohms what we're going to be actually working on. So, put that in there. There we go. So now, let's get the actual device. Okay. Remember, this gave us before a 0.8 low drop when we calculated the 0.4 ohms, which was like 0.39 ohms actually, but we rounded off to 0.4 ohms, and it was at 4.22 volts. And then on the load it was 342, which was the average that we used. Minusing that out comes out to 0.8 volts on a low drop. So now we're looking for a better number. So as you can see, we're going to use the same addy, 0.39, which we're rounding off to 0.4. Okay, and this is the penny dripper right here. Oofa. Okay. I need a grip. Okay. So now that I have the grip, make sure everything is okay. I want to clean the contacts again. Alright. So, okay. So now, putting it in on the Esterigon. Okay, so right now I have it on off for the atomizer, but let's see on the load. Should be, there it is. So it actually even increased on the battery. Instead of 4.22, it went to 4.23. Oofa. There we go. So as you can see, it's already producing good. Forget about it. So let's check out the load. And we're looking for better than 3.42. Okay, that's what we're looking for. Something better than 3.42. Oh wait, that's 4. Let me turn it on. Okay, atomizer turned on. Here we go. So we're looking at 356, 358, which is a whole lot better than 342. Let's do it again. 357, 357. So we're looking at 357. So at 357, we're gonna be minusing out. Let's see. So 3.57 minus 4.23 comes out to 0.66. Now that is one hell of a low drop because, again, we're at almost 0.4 ohms that we're running here. This is stainless steel, okay? For a stainless steel mod to provide you that kind of performance is something not to wink at. That's for sure. It's a great performance, given that it's a stainless steel mod. Of course, if it was brass or copper, it would actually be even a lesser of a low drop. But this is a significantly great low drop right now. So that means if I go and vape this, it's going to be freaking phenomenal. So let me put this on the mod. And let's have ourselves a vape. Oofa. So here we are. I got it on the Esterigon, as you can see. Okay. Now this stripper is out of this world. Oofa. It needs juice. Okay. Alright, here we go again. Oofa. Now, This is using Penelope version 2. The new setup, as you can see, there's the wings. Can you see that? Oh man, this thing, and it looks so beautiful, so adorable right on the mod, right? Oofa, I tell you. But the actual hit on this, and I'm running dual coils. Got a lot of juice, but just look at that, look at that. I'm telling you, this is the power of the Esterigon. Look at that, look at that. And I'm running dual coils on here. Forget about it, I tell you. Oofa. So I like to put, and I'm running dual wicks because you can see I got wicks here in the channel, and the other 2 remaining wicks are on top. Okay. Oofa. This thing is hitting freaking awesome. Oofa. So, guys, you know, the video is a little bit lengthy. Didn't mean it to be, but being that you guys asked how you can actually get the Esterigon to hit very, very hard, well, there it is. Very simple. I use a sonic cleaner. Okay, now that sonic cleaner you can get it on Amazon. It ranges between 60 to 80 bucks. That's all what I spent, really. You don't need to spend, you know, anything beyond, okay, like over $100. There's no need for that. The sonic solution that I showed you is only like about 18 bucks, 10 to 18 bucks. I usually get them like in 2 pieces or 3 pieces, and it works. I'm telling you, it keeps it so shiny. You saw the brass, the before and after. You can hit the rewind and take a look at it. Versus after it's been cleaned, it looks like jewelry, like gold, literally like gold. And now the mod is performing outstanding, just totally outstanding. So, you know, if you have any further questions, feel free, you know, leave your comments right there. If you like what I had to show you, hit the subscribe button. I'm always putting out new videos of how to improve and use GG devices and every other device as well. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. Live hard and vape hard.